Okay, Gemini, it's coming through really strong. Feels like you're stuck on something. What are you stuck on? There's something that needs to be left in the past. The universe is giving you signs. There are signs. There are really obvious signs. And it feels like you probably know what that is. You probably know who or what it is time to walk away from. But what's the hesitation? If you know it's of the highest good, can you take steps forward this month? Will you allow yourself to take steps forward this month? You don't have to have all the answers. Acknowledging that it's time to move beyond where you're at, that energy alone is good enough. Take baby steps, okay? You don't have to complete a full journey over the course of October. Just get something started. Let's get a little bit more clarity here. Gemini, general overview. Wow. First card out. Time to go. I'm telling you, it is your main message. Who and what do you need to leave? Some of you, it feels like a job. I'm getting a job is stale. A job is stale. A work environment is stale. You feel bored. It feels like there's something that isn't mentally stimulating, Gemini, and that is just like torture for the Gemini soul, right? But it also feels like some of you have been on a journey that was very important. You've had an experience. And this feels, especially for those of you in the career space, feels like you've been doing something really important. There was an important lesson. There was an important experience, but you've outgrown it. And it feels like you may have stayed in a situation that you outgrew a couple years ago. Are you holding on to someone or something it's time to let go of? It feels like the answer is yes. So what Spirit's asking you, not just to acknowledge that you've outgrown the situation, but Spirit's asking you to focus on what it is that you truly desire. What are you passionate about? What does mentally stimulate you enough? For some of you, you are just over the traditional 9 to 5. You're just over that environment. You're over making somebody else money. But do you have the courage to say goodbye? Because there's stability in that too. Do you have the courage this month to say goodbye to some of that financial stability, some of that that safe space where you may have settled into? Do you have the courage to step into something this month where there's no certainty, where it may be a little bit chaotic for a little while? You will benefit greatly if you start taking some steps forward. And it doesn't mean that you have to leave an old financial or career environment completely all at once. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we came into the reading talking about this, and I clarified this by saying Spirit wants to know what it is that you desire. This sits at the center of your reading. It's just so clear. It's just so clear for you, Gemini. I know I stopped mid-thought, but you don't care because you're Gemini. We are Geminis together. What do you desire? What do you want, Gemini? You know, this visual I'm getting. So I'm out walking around my neighborhood, and I've been seeing these like insane luxury cars. Like I'm talking like Ferraris on Ferraris and like Lambos and just cars that I don't normally see where I live because there's like no parking here. Okay. So it's like, you'd think that you would park a car like that in a garage, have a little bit more security. But I've been seeing them everywhere. And a practice that I've taken on is when universe starts to show me something that I like, instead of looking at it and say, oh, that's a car that I can't afford right now, like, and get all bent out of shape. That, or all of my friends posting pictures of their kids on Instagram, and I want that. I never take that perspective, and I've taught a lot of people this too. It's a real game changer. When I see that Ferrari, when I see that Lambo, I'm like, universe, you are getting damn good. Thank you. Yes and yes. I will take one in 2 different colors. Thank you. However you want to provide that for me, I'm game. Oh, wow, look at all those beautiful babies that have been born over the last, month or 2. And I'm seeing them grow up on Instagram because they live far away from friends or they live far away from me. That's amazing. Thank you for that energy, universe. Yes, when it's of the highest good, I'm ready for that. It feels like that is what universe needs you to do, okay? It's not so much about completely abruptly ending a journey. and having every single thing figured out on the new journey. It's about taking steps forward. It's about figuring out what it is you're passionate about. But when universe shows you those signs, can you navigate that? And you say, well, I would prefer, you know, the Ferrari over the Lambo. Or you know what, universe, you know, those colors work for me, or whatever it is, however those signs are coming through. And it doesn't have to be that superficial, right? I feel like many of you are going to see signs with more depth than that. But when they show up in your face, can you look at it with gratitude? Can you understand that is you already in alignment with that energy? There is no lack there. If you look at something that somebody else has that you do not have, and there's some sort of discomfort, I don't feel resentment. I'm not getting resentful energy from Gemini, but a little bit of discomfort, like, oh wow, am I not at that place yet? Should I be? What is my age? You know, that none of that matters. Don't worry about it. If you're seeing it, it's because you are coming into full alignment with that. And if you're not liking what's showing up, spend time meditating on this, okay? Maybe you'll have, you know, those beautiful, gorgeous Ferraris in your future too. For me, it's always a red Ferrari. And it's funny because I think you guys know I'm a professional songwriter. And I worked on something with my partner for Rick Ross. And it was called Ferrari Red. And so when I'm walking around, I was like, red Ferraris? Yeah, universe. And all of a sudden it clicked. I was like, oh, Ferrari Red. Oh, yeah. You can place that. That's cool. Right? Take that energy and make it work for you. That's a big message here. All right. Moving on. Have confidence. Have confidence to leave whatever this is behind. It is okay to have beautiful energy intact when you leave someone or something. It is okay to love somebody and to know that it is not of your highest good to stay. It is okay to look back at a relationship and still appreciate all that you learned in it without feeling like you're stuck in it for eternity. The same is true for careers. The same is true for friendships. The same is true for that city that you love that maybe you happen to outgrow and it's time to experience something else. It just feels like it's time to experience something else. So have confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, have confidence in the universe right now. I know you're getting your Ferrari signs too. I get it. Those luxury signs. The universe is bringing in some really, really, really great stuff for you, Gem. But do you have the courage to, one, acknowledge it, but two, start taking steps forward towards something that really gets you going again? Because I'm feeling like this feels like lack of passion. Gemini, you can't sustain that. You don't want to sustain that. You'll go crazy. And if you feel like, okay, I've been moving around a lot, I've been restless, I've been physically moving from one location to another location, recognize that that energy is saying, Gemini, you are not content. Make different kinds of changes, not superficial changes. Dig deep, okay? So we have this time to go. Clarify, but be honest with yourself. Dig deep. Dig deep. What gets you going? And what feels like you have settled for it? I'm telling you, for some of you, this has to do with relationships. And it may not even be romantic relationships. It really feels like you have loyalty to somebody in a career space, to a boss, a company. Could be somebody, getting, for some of you, you might be working with a family member. You may have a business and you're working with a family member. It just doesn't work. The chemistry isn't there. It feels like you feel bad moving on. This is not the month to get stuck there. There is so much manifesting here. Okay, we have what do you desire, center of your reading message, clarified by daydream. This is all about figuring out what it is that you want in steps, right? We daydream. When you're not overthinking things, I know that's like very rare for us, Gemini, but when you're not overthinking and you have that moment where you're just walking down the road or you're on the treadmill at the gym and you just start daydreaming, where does your mind naturally go without forcing the thoughts? What do you constantly think about? What do you constantly feel passionate about? That's step one. Step two is letting universe know what it is that you desire. But manifestation and law of attraction is a major for Gemini this month. And it feels like as long as you have faith, you're going to get it. That's the thing. I don't even feel like a huge gap between, okay, if I leave a job or I leave a career, am I going to struggle for the next couple of years because I don't have that stability? I just see something coming in quick for you, Gemini. This is totally worth your time. This is totally worth your time to navigate away from and to start something new. So we have confidence. Clarified by listen. Okay, listen also speaks to meditation and some more manifesting. But what comes through the main message coming through this are signs, okay? Have confidence because the universe is showing you some pretty amazing signs that you are on the right path. Now, if you are a little bit further along, you have launched some new things. Feels like for Gemini, you may have launched more than one new thing and you're waiting to see what is going to be the bigger or the biggest payout for you. What's really going to be worth your time? What can you stick with long term? Universe is showing you signs either way. Whether you're just stepping into a new journey, just getting that courage together to make a change, or you may be a little further down that road, there are signs guiding you now. But you do have to quiet your mind. Telling a Gemini to stop overthinking is pointless. But make time, Gemini, to meditate and to at least quiet your mind a little bit. Meditation really is important. Crowning your reading here is focus on service. I really think you want to help people. Gemini, it feels like some of what is not mentally stimulating and this sort of like passionless energy that I'm getting around work stems from not being able to make a real impact. I don't know too many Geminis that are okay settling into a job or a position where their work doesn't really matter. The typical, just for stability, the 9 to 5, being stuck in an office. I don't know too many Gemini that don't go crazy in that kind of an environment. You need to be helping people. Now, I'm not saying all of you need to quit your 9 to 5 jobs, okay? Because I'm getting nurse here. Actually, this makes a whole lot of sense. I'm getting nurse with this. My mom's also a Gemini, and she is an RN. But you're helping people. If you are supposed to be helping people, so say you're a nurse, but now you're doing something, you've taken like a higher position where you're doing more paperwork and you're not really working one-on-one with patients anymore. Some of you are going to take some steps back and go work with patients, okay? There's this pull toward helping other people. Okay, bottom of the deck. Cleanse and detox. Okay, it's fine. Sea salt bath, some sage. If you need some help with energy healing, I'm here for you. But look at how beautiful this is. Wow. Archangel Michael coming through saying there's nothing to worry about. But we also have perfect timing. The time is now. The time is now to make a change. You owe it to yourself. And you're going to reap some really amazing rewards here. It's funny. I kind of use this as like a random reference just because it's been coming up for me with the Ferrari red. And I look down at this card, and instead of seeing a card that says have confidence, because this is red, I know my light's kind of making that look a little different, but this is actually like a very red card, a bright red card. And I'm just seeing that again. I think for some of you, that's like, for me, it wasn't about a superficial meaning, right? It wasn't about the luxury car. It really spoke to, oh, this record that I wrote. Oh, okay, let's see that through now. It feels like someone else has connection. It may not be Ferrari red, but what is red to you? It feels like you may be drawn toward that color because that just keeps coming up. And I know that pertains to more than just the signs the universe has shown me. So pay attention to red. Also, pay attention to cleansing and detoxing your definitely root chakra, maybe sacral chakra here too. Cleansing root and sacral chakra, making sure that as you're manifesting, you're pulling that energy all the way down, right? You're not vibing up too high where you've got all this manifestation energy, but it's not grounded enough to come full circle into the physical realm. So for some of you, this is just have confidence and be a little bit more grounded, okay? This is awesome energy. This is so good. Gemini, I'm going to jump into your love reading right after this. Make sure you check that out. But I am available this month for private readings for energy healing. At the time of filming this, we're still in September, and most of my availability is booked up for general readings and for healing sessions. I will be taking emergency readings and emergency healing sessions. If you need it, reach out to me. I will also get a wait list going for those of you who have the patience to wait a little bit, because things come up, cancellations come up. And people need to reschedule. And so it's good to have that list going, and I'll just reach out to you. If we can get you in, we get you in. If not, we'll wait until a later date, but that's an option for you guys as well.